Hello, welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn. I'm the lucky last in the Global Share Fair this weekend, and this is my project I'm sharing with you, featuring the Jar of Joy bundle. No, it's not actually a bundle, it's a stamp set, the Jar of Joy, which actually coordinates with the Sweet Jar Punch. I'm just checking out to see if you can see anything here in our on the video. Okay, right, so I've got you all uploaded. I can see hopefully what you can see, and it's all good and you can see everything. Okay, so this, I hadn't used this stamp set. Just basically what my motivation for doing this was I hadn't used it, so I wanted to use it, but it also is a bit of a fun fold with a fun little pop-up element and a peekaboo window there for you to share with you. And I've used one of my favourite colours out of last year's In Colours, which is Summer Splash. Not a very Christmassy colour, but I do think it looks super pretty with the silver. Okay, let's get started. Now I'll get out my stamps. I need my jar. Just let that stretch into shape a bit onto my stamp. I need Sending a Jar Full of Cheer. Pop that on there. And I need my ornaments, my hanging ornaments for inside my jar. And I've also got this lovely little sentiment for inside my card as well. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Okay. I have used also on this project, as well as the Sweet Jar Punch, is the Stylish Shapes dies. And I've used the largest circle to die cut my window there in that bit, but I have already done that in preparation for today. Okay, so here's my card. So I've die cut the largest circle, stylish circle out window there on the front of my card, at your basic card. So for all of our guests today with our Share Fair, you will all receive a tutorial featuring all of the projects and the measurements and the supplies we've used in each of our projects today. But here's my bit of silver foil, and I'll do this first just to get that done and dusted. My Sweet Jar Punch. I'm just going to punch out a little lid. So that's that done. So I've got my cute little lid. I'll pop that over there. This bit here is for my greeting. So I actually can do that to get that done and dusted. Actually, I might do all of my stamping while I'm doing this, and I might get my piercing mat as well and a bit of scratch paper just to help me stamp easily and cleanly. Okay, so got my greeting here, Sending a Jar Full of Cheer, and my Summer Splash ink. And straight. This is, I like long, thin greetings like this because they're good to use those little bits of scraps that we accumulate every time we cut out our cardstock. So that one's done. Don't need to do anything there. This one is for inside my card, and that one's for my jar. So inside my card, I'm going to do some of these gorgeous ornaments just across the top. Just something a bit interesting. Oh, and my greeting quite low, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Okay, so that's that stamping done. Just clean off my stamp, and then my last scrap here is for my jar, my sweet jar, which I've decided to put inside some of these ornaments. So I'll just line that up. The photo polymer is perfect for lining that up exactly where I want it to go in the top of the jar. Okay, I can clean all that. That's all my stamping done, I believe. Yes. So I can get rid of you and I can close you up. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today, especially to our Australian friends, because this is a better time for us. I will get my scratch piece of paper back and punch out my jar right in the center there. There we go. And I'm going to use my Summer Splash, and it is one of my favorite colors. I love the blues and greens. And this is why I've got my scratch paper underneath, which you can see has been used for lots of things. I'm just going to go off the edge and right on the outside edge of my jar here to create some shadow on the sides to make my jar look a little bit more three-dimensional. Okay, and on this side too, right on that edge. You can also too go use your brush right up close and hold your piece of paper like that, and that gives you a nice dark tone, and that's lovely, isn't it? Nice green. I'll just put a little bit of edge on the top and bottom. There we go, that's done. Used all my Summer Splash, and get you out of the way because you're pretty ugly. I'm going to colour in a couple of my ornaments here. I forgot to put this in my introduction that I'm going to use stamping blends, but I've got, what have I got? Summer Splash, of course, and some Pool Party, and a little bit of Petal Pink, and a little bit of Pretty in Pink just for the details. So I use Pretty in Pink on my little hearts there. Actually, I might use Pretty in Pink all the way around, really, to thanks everyone for coming to watch me. I know it's a tricky time for our friends in the US coming on. It's morning, Saturday morning here for me. And it is actually a stunning morning on the Sunshine Coast. This is a lot darker than I anticipated. Maybe I shouldn't have used this colour. Oh well. We have had a lot of rain during the week. Heaps and heaps and heaps of rain. So it's actually quite magical to see the sunshine today. Very exciting. And it's a little bit warmer than it has been as well, because it has been rather cold for us in Queensland. I know it's not cold for everywhere else in the world, but we've been feeling it. Okay, so there's my stamping done. Hello, so glad you're here, Nancy. Thank you, and so glad you're here too, Maria. It's lovely. Yes, beautiful, beautiful day. Okay, let's start sticking some of these things together. So I'm going to pop my greeting, got an extra bit of there, on there, onto my, oh, oops, just as well I didn't stick that down fast. I didn't even check. So I'll just trim off my ends here, see if that looks about right. I'll trim it straight, makes it look better. And another one there. I think that's good now. Rightio. Sending a jar full of cheer. Get you guys off my scissors. Always important to keep ensure you don't have too much glue on your scissors, because it does affect their performance. Okay, this one can go straight onto here. Like that. What's this? Oh, another piece of silver foil. I didn't even need that. Here's my die cut circle that I cut out from the center of my card, and I'm going to put it onto the back of this die cut circle, which has been cut from the Nests of Winter. And my sole criteria for choosing this paper is because it had similar tones to my Summer Splash and Pool Party. So this got some Pool Party in it, so I'm just going to pop that on that to give this a bit more stability. Okay. Now comes the fun part. I've got this little piece. Now, it is in centimetres, 7 centimetres by 5 centimetres, scored at every 1.5 centimetres. So 1.5, 3, 3.5, 6, 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, and then there's 1 centimetre there. Basically, all you need to do is to create a little box. Okay, and however big your box you want to be is how much you score your little quarters there. Now I'm going to use tear and tape for this, just a little strip on my edge there, peel that off, and I'm going to stick it flat, and then, okay, so it folds both ways nice and evenly. Got something in there. Right, now I'm going to put some tape on 2 of those sides of that box, or tube, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to peel one off. Okay, and stick that one down there. Right, I'm going to pop that, hopefully you can see this well, right next to the score line, not on the top of the score line, but I'm going to make sure it's sort of centered to the circle, because this is where I'm going to put my other circle. Right next to the score line there, okay, and then peel off this piece here, and then close my card, okay. So then when you pull it up, you've got your little box there, and then this bit here, so I'm going to do it with my card closed so I don't put too much adhesive anywhere else. There's my tape right there, see, peeking through the little, it's a bit hard to see on white, isn't it? I apologize for that. So there's a little score line there, it folds up, so there it is from the top, like that, and then I'm going to peel that off. Good grief. Use my take your pick tool to get the end. Peel that off, and then put my circle right inside there, so it fits inside. And then, ta-da! You've got a little pop-up. That's very cute. And then I've got my centerpiece. Now you can see why I put my greeting quite low. I'm going to butt that up against. Oh no, I don't actually have to butt it up against, so center is about there. So even though you can't see the decorations, it does give you a little bit of interesting detail up the top there. Okay, so that's that. And then my cute little jar I will put up with dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. Here we are. Isn't that darling? And then this one as well, but on this one it's so skinny, I think I'll use a couple of bits of the edge pieces there. There we go. I might be able to use one more bit of the edge. Oh, there you go. And I'm going to pop you a little bit open, just a little bit. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of ribbon, because a little bit of baker's twine actually, because you have to. And I've doubled it to about that long. I'm going to tie a bow because I want it to be pretty and luxurious. All right, and tie that. Here we are. Cut my tails. And I think I'll have to use a mini glue dot on that, because mini glue dots are my favourite. And squish you on. Pick you up with my tool and pop. So I've used quite a lot of different adhesives today. I've used my dimensionals, I've used tear and tape, and my favourite seal. Okay, and on this one I'll also use the edge strip of these dimensionals. So good that they're all adhesive right to the very edge. And I can stick that on there. Sending a jar full of cheer. Oh, and I do need something else, bling, because bling, you have to. I've got the old favourites, Rhinestone Jewels. These guys have been around for years and years and years. And they are surely the sparkliest rhinestones in the world, I reckon. They're just so pretty. Okay, so one there. Next size down in the middle heart, the one I didn't colour in. And I might do another big one in the middle of my starter ornament. There you are. There, you're pretty. So there you go. Sending a jar full of cheer in a very sweet Christmas colour. Lots of sparkle and a bit of a pop-up inside. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll have a couple more little surprises in the next hour to show you, a little tip and a little video. I think my video is about stamping, presented by Sarah. So I hope you enjoy those, and I hope you've enjoyed all of the weekend. I'm the last presenter this weekend, so contact the demonstrator who invited you and she can give you the tutorial with all of the projects from everyone who's been here. And make sure you go around and check out all the videos and give them a bit of comment love, because we really appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much and see you next time. See ya. Bye.